TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Miss Lana Lively. What are your memories of the storyline with the Midnight Express and Ronnie Garvin and Jim Cornette? What are your memories of that?
Beautiful match. Dusty Rhodes told me that was one of the classics and best ever angle, and that was his. That was all his, brother. And Ronnie, oh man, he had the wig, he had the
awesome
girdle on, he had the, the he had everything. The stockings, man, lipstick, and he had the works on, and he looked good. But what really stood out was I remember we were out in the Omni, and I had Bobby Eaton, God bless him, man, and Bobby, beautiful Bobby, and we're out on the floor, and there's cameras everywhere, and you always know when that red light's on, and I says, Bobby, the red light's on us, man, and he says, bill me, man, and man, I said, no, well, concrete right here, brother. And I Billy, man, because the brother, and bang, and I took it, boom, and he just like in the ring, but boom, and he boom, right on that concrete, brother. I mean, just flat, man. What an athlete, what a high. He was one of the first high flyers, brother, coming off with the Alabama Jam, elbow right off the top. He was one of the first, and he got billed right on this concrete, brother, and brother, and they got it all. You watch it, watch it, brother, and wait for that moment, and you won't believe it, how high. It was just like doing it in the ring, man. And I said, wow. And Dusty went nuts. He loved it. He's back there, came back, he hugged us all. Oh, he said it was the best. And
feuding with Tully for the TV title? A couple matches with Tully?
Yeah.
You guys did the tape fist matches. What was Tully like to work with? Easy?
Yeah. Again, Rob, it didn't work. It didn't mix. I can't, my style, his style, he's another wrestling heel.
Right.
I couldn't work with the Kangaroos. I'm talking the original, not the Royal Kangaroo, and I couldn't work with the original Kangaroo because they're wrestling heels. The Andersons wrestling heels, and when you get to that, because they work one arm, one body part to Anderson. Fast tag, boom, boom. I'm a brawler. I got to keep going. I got to keep dancing. I got to keep punching. I got to keep, shooting you outside, posting you. I got to get the cheer. Boom. I got to see. That's my style. These guys' style is wrestling. Tully, he did this, he did that, and it didn't match. It didn't work. He was a great wrestler. Oh, I take my hat off to him. In fact, his father, Joe Blanchard, he's another heartthrob brother, man. What a good-looking guy, like a movie star, like a Rock Hudson, look. And he was the champion. He ran San Antonio territory.
Southwest Championship Wrestling.
You bet, yeah. And Tully came up, and when I went in there, my real name is Fanning, Fanning, and he sees that on my license, Texas license, and he says, "You're Fanning?" I says, "Yeah." He says, "Well, that's my mother's maiden name. Now this is Joe." Right. And so I said, "Oh man," I said, "My dad always talked about that we had cousins, or he had my dad." And his name was Jim Fanning. He says, in Texas. And I said, man, we might be related. And I says, cuz, I'm talking to Joe. So right. Tully wasn't even there. He was in school then, or when I first went in, this was 69, 70. And so I didn't know Tully there. But I worked for Fritz. That's where they sent me to New York to get my break. That's when I was there 3 months. And so every time I see Joe, would work every Wednesday for him. Oh, and he worked, his town was Corpus Christi too. He had Corpus on Thursday, and he'd do we do San Antonio on Wednesday, and so I call him Cuz, and he called me Cuz. So I that's why I call Tully. We're real tight. I love him, man. But his style, my style, just like Nick Bockwinkel and Dusty and whoever, they were smart enough to get us away.
Yeah.
Because they would kill my gimmick, I'd kill their gimmick. It just don't jive. They got to put me with
Abby.
Anybody that's a brawler, that's a a mean, nasty heel instead of a wrestling heel. Yeah.
Some of the other guys you shared the locker room in Crockett's territory. Thoughts on Jim Cornette, Magnum?
Yeah, Cornette. I know him since he's 12 years old. Great guy, brother, man. His mother Thelma, which he talks about, and they were wealthy. That's a shoot, and she was Hanson. My boy, I call his real name is Hanson Jimmy.
Right.
Yeah, I named him Hanson. His first name is Jimmy, and that's my son. So she was his godmother. She claimed that, and I would then fly in later, and when I'd fly into Louisville, I'd even stay over their house. They'd pick me up at the airport and take me to the matches, and then take me back to the airport. Real sweet people, and Jimmy, I known him since he's just a young boy, and he started taking pictures at the Louisville Garden of all the boys, me and Dundee and Lawler and Ido, and then we would look at them and order what we wanted, and then the following week he'd have we would sell then just 5x7s, and we'd order, give me 25 of these, 25 of these, whatever, and we'd pay him, and he'd make a little lick, and he had knee pads on, just a young boy, and he's taking pictures at the ring, and then we'd pose in the back, for against the wall, and we'd have different pictures to sell, because we go to the same towns every week, except spot shows, and so because we had the circuit, and once a month we'd go to Lexington, which was the Rupp Arena, brother, man. Oh, we'd rock that place, Kentucky, but otherwise it's Memphis, Louisville, and then Evansville, and then spot shows. And
I'm just going to mention some other names. You could, if you have any stories on them, Double A. Arn Anderson, Dick Slater, Billy Jack Haynes, Magnum.
Oh, Magnum, man, I love him. I call him Maggie May.
Right.
Call him Maggie May, baby. And I talk about all these guys in my autobiography, and it's Maggie. It's just a shame, what happened, and God bless him. I love him, and he has such a future there, and
he would have been champion easily.
Oh man, oh my goodness, yeah, you bet, and it's I'll tell you how that happened too, and you have to be ready when you get the ball, and the coach gives you the ball, man. You're going to have to take that football and run 100 yards and make a touchdown.
Yep.
Right off the bat, if you're ready. If you go 80 yards and fumble, you're not ready. And so when you get called, you got to be ready. And I've seen him get called, brother, just like that. I can name so many different situations. Well, that was one.